Hello, gamers. Welcome back to Lifeline for Linear. We're raising money for LinearC. We're going to be moving away from collecting all those pretty cards to fight those silly bosses, and instead we'll be collecting little guys to fight different silly bosses. And also, I hear there's something about beds. NewAmber is here to show us the Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom all dungeons. Amber, let's get into it.
Hello everybody. Welcome. My name's NewAmber. I am typically a Pokemon runner, but today I have Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom for you. We're gonna get into it pretty quickly, but first I will let my commentators introduce themselves, starting with the person who has played this game more.
I suppose that's me. My name's GavinNBD. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Zelda games and excited to see this run.
Hello, I'm Joker. I like Zelda games. Minish Cap is great. I've never played this game, so this will be fun.
Yes, I believe both of you have never seen a speedrun of this game, so I'm very excited to see and hear your live reaction to everything. But yeah, we're just gonna get started. I'll give a countdown from 5. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. This is the latest Legend of Zelda game, just came out like 6 months ago now, almost? It felt like it came out just yesterday. This game is known for the fact that you actually play as Zelda for like the majority of the game. But for the first 2 minutes, we are going to be playing as Boy Zelda. There he is. So Boy Zelda has like a bunch of really cool abilities, right? So Boy Zelda can like jump super high. Boy Zelda has like a sword that can do like a spin attack. Has like bombs, bomb shoes, arrow, shield. Like 75% of those abilities will be completely irrelevant after these first 2 minutes.
Dang, look at all those hearts you have.
Yeah, all 20 hearts that I will definitely be keeping. I definitely will not be reduced to 3 hearts in like 2 minutes from now.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah, so we're just gonna make it through this little intro right here. Yeah, main thing here is just making sure I am just taking the right lines.
Will you get a double?
Alright, here, quickly, I'm gonna defeat these 3 enemies. I'm gonna do a quick spin, like that.
Ooh.
Defeat all 3 of them at once. Quick spins do double damage, so that's why I'm able to just, like, annihilate them like that. But yeah, the game wants me to do like, all these tutorials, like, targeting and, like, raising my shield and whatever, and I'm just, like, completely ignoring those. I do not care. We're here to go fast. Gonna do a nifty little jump there. And this darknet, owned. Alright, so we're coming up to, Ganon. Oh my gosh, we're at the final boss already. Wow. This run went so fast. Thanks everyone for watching. We're almost at the end.
Damn.
Final boss fight?
So, basically this fight, as long as I take the same actions, it will turn out the same way. I did not take the same action, so this is gonna get very interesting.
Good thing you don't have 3 hearts.
Yeah, because the guy has more than 3 hearts. Maybe not messing up would be nice. Come on. There we go. Alright.
Alright, GG.
GG, thank you.
GG on Ganon?
The final boss, of course, 2 minutes into the run.
Okay.
Oh, whoa, big spoiler, wait. Ganon's not the final boss? Whoa, what's happening? Oh.
Oh.
Alright. No, Boy Zelda. No, Boy Zelda!
Why'd he just stand there?
Plot. Alright, so we gotta break out of this now. Very fun thing about that crystal, so any input that you do will start causing like the crystal to break, including stick inputs. So the optimal way to break out of that is to like Mario Party spin your stick as fast as possible.
Not flex on moms. Flick your stick.
Well, also like that, I guess. Little sword shield reference right there. Alright.
Yeah.
So all those abilities I had with Boy Zelda, I have none of those now. So I just have to like very slowly. I have this like teensy little jump now. We're just gonna make it right out of here quickly. All these like kind of block falling are like not random. They're all preset, so I know exactly where all these things are gonna fall. So I can take the optimal line.
I thought you were just manipulating RNGs, so you...
Also, oh yeah, I am actually. Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Alright. You know, I've never actually stopped and found out what happens if you, like, let the thing consume you or whatever. I should try that one day. Alright, so we're gonna get a whole bunch of cutscenes now, so now's probably a good time to explain the category I'm running. So I am running all dungeons, which is a pretty standard category in most Zelda games. Basically just means I have to actually complete all of the major dungeons. So major dungeons are ones that like advance the main story in this game. So that includes the Southern Ruins, that includes Jebel, Farron, Elden, all that stuff. Notably does not include like side dungeons, like the Eastern Palace in this game is not a required dungeon to complete the story. I won't have to do that. Also, if you do look at the speedrun.com page, you will see two subcategories, one called unrestricted and one called restricted. I will be running unrestricted today, which unrestricted basically just means the only requirement is that I have to get to the end of the dungeon and work out. Which is a very specific definition. While restricted basically means you have to complete the entire dungeon from start to finish. So, suffice to say, I will be skipping parts of dungeons throughout the run.
Skipping in my speed run? What?
Oh,
Sounds like cheating.
Yeah. You don't skip stuff in Let's Go.
Never.
yeah, you would never skip anything in Pokemon Let's Go, aren't they?
While we're in this cutscene here, is there time for some donations?
Oh yeah, actually there's gonna be quite a bit of time if you would like to go ahead. Donations or anything else you would like to read?
Perfect. I have some very exciting news for you all, chat. We have met the incentive to get the cat costume for Zelda during this run.
We already met it? Oh my gosh.
We did. And we have also met our milestone for the Halo run tomorrow morning. Let's go, chat. And some of the donations that went towards those were $79 from HRT Worm that says, not sure what would count for hands played, so instead here's $1 for the sum of most played hands across all attempts, less than 3. Best of luck with everything, Linear. Thanks to the staff for putting this on to help her out. We also have $25 from Melanie Ann that says, I'm so excited for Little Guy Block and even more excited to see Zelda in her adorable cat costume. Good luck, have fun, less than 3. We also have $10 from Jadelyn, who says, excited to be part of such a good cause and fun event. Let's get that Halo upgrade. And we did. You did it, chat. I am so proud of you. Are there time for a few more?
Oh yeah, go for it. We got like a whole bunch of cutscene right here. Maybe like
Perfect.
we have like a good like 2 minutes. Also, shout out to this person's wife. That will actually be important. Anyways, go ahead.
We have $52.69 from Leaf Otter that says, the abandoned deck may have abandoned me, but I'm not abandoning the cause. Here's a donation that's somewhere around my overall time. Thank you, Chibi Carrera, for hosting. Put this towards kitty costume. And $5 from Toya. First dono in the dono train that says, my kitties' names are Sugar Plum and Nutella. Thank you so much, everyone, for those donations and for helping us meet both the incentive for this run and the milestone for Halo tomorrow morning.
Yes, thank you, everybody. I had it all like prepared in my head, like during this cutscene, like, oh, I gotta talk about the cat costume incentive. You already met it, because you all are so amazing. So thank you.
Now we'll just talk about how you can't forget the meat.
So true. There are also, I believe, we have a bid war, I believe, and a naming incentive for the next run as well.
We do, yes. There is a bid war for the next run for Greta Ice Vixen's Pokemon Sword and Shield run. Chat, you get to choose what version of the game that Greta plays. You can either choose Pokemon Sword or Pokemon Shield. And currently, it looks like Pokemon Sword is in the lead. But if you were to ask me, I would say I want to see Pokemon Shield be played. That was the version of the game that I played casually, and I absolutely loved it. But chat, it is up to you.
You want to see the runner suffer more, pick Shield.
Shield is a little bit harder, yes. I think it's more exciting, though. I think
You're flexing on no one, the prison door.
Yeah, so that, like, basically, it doesn't matter what you do during those, like, few seconds of inputs there. It will always take, like, the exact amount of time to advance to the next cutscene.
And do the champion pose after. Feels bad.
So here we're going to get introduced to Try. Try is going to give us the Try Rod, which is what is going to allow us to create echoes. So if you haven't seen this game before, basically kind of the main mechanic of this game is creating echoes. So I can like store either like a monster or like an object in my Try Rod, and then I can basically press a button and I can summon copies of that. And there's limitations on what you can do with that. You can't just summon like 800 beds at the same time. But you can summon a good amount of beds at the same time.
Interesting.
So is this going to be an all-bed run?
I'm gonna be getting 2 of the 3 beds. So like, you know, 66% bed run. And we're gonna get our first echo right here. So technically, you can actually beat this game with only using the table echo for the entire game. It's very difficult, but it's possible.
Oh yeah, since you asked me to, Amber, I do want to let you know that the game's in overtime.
Oh my gosh! All right, yeah. There is I'm very excited about the Canada-US 4 Nations face-off hockey game right now that is going on currently. So thank you for the score update.
Oh, don't get... You gotta be stealthy here?
Yeah, you gotta be stealthy here. So I'm gonna be doing something called spawn jump here. So if you position yourself correctly, you can basically spawn an echo and jump at the same time. So I'm gonna be using that to create the least amount of echoes as possible and get through here as quickly as possible. This last one is actually pretty tricky. Let's see if I can get it. Got it. All right, easy. I did not get caught. Getting caught there is very, very slow. They will put you back in the jail cell, and then we'll have another cutscene. And then you have to re-escape the jail cell and go through all of that, so...
I mean, that wasn't really stealthy. You just kind of outran them all.
Well, that's just a speed run. Come on. I don't got time for stealth.
But like,
I am.
You could, like,
slow runner?
I thought you could like stealthily and fastly get past them. So.
Nah, I don't need that. Alright, so here's a little cutscene with Impa. We basically just like learn some lore that like only Zelda can see Try for some reason. and in a little bit, Impa will show us that she's not as fragile as she looks. But first, we're gonna change and get a very important ability. Once we put on our hood, where we magically gain the ability to spin for some reason, which is going to be kind of our main movement throughout the run. So pretty much from now on, you will see me, instead of like walking everywhere, I'm just going to be like doing the spin like literally everywhere.
Yo, the rolls.
It kind of reminds you of like Paper Mario, if you played that.
Mm-hmm.
I've not.
Yeah, doing the little twirl just to go faster.
Yeah. You haven't played Paper Mario, Joker?
Nope.
Alright, I got homework for you after this run's over.
Sorry, I've been procrastinating on Reaper.
Alright, we're gonna get out of this cutscene pretty soon. And then it will be time to escape. Alright.
Normal.
So I'm gonna do a couple spawn jumps here too. Just so I can make it across these gaps.
Yo, a bed.
Time for the
bed.
greatest echo in the game. The bed. Well, it's the second greatest. I will show you what the greatest one is soon enough. So... Oh, I got a rupee there.
No, green rupee.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
So,
You need rupees in this run?
Yes, technically, but that one is like not useful. Here we go. So basically, the first time you get a rupee, it will, like every type of rupee, it will give you like a little cutscene. And though like the green rupee is like pretty much unavoidable throughout the run. Like you will get one at some point, but we really want to try to avoid the blue rupee.
You can spin underwater?
Yeah, you can spin underwater.
I would definitely play through the whole game not knowing that.
Oh my gosh. I cannot imagine doing some sections of this game without the spin. We'll see some fairly lengthy water sections, which I will be spinning through the entire time.
Oh, joy.
Like right here. Well, this one's not very long, but still. Spinning
We're
right
going
here.
fast here. Let's play fast. Is it meat time?
It is not meat time. The one thing I told you to remember. You're like, there's a time. There's a time.
Yeah.
We still got a couple minutes till I need to get the meat. Not worry.
Is it like taco meat?
No, it's not talking. You'll see what it is.
Okay.
Alright. So now we kind of got washed away down that drain, and we're kind of at the south part of the map. And we're basically going to be kind of stuck in this area until we beat the first dungeon, Southern Ruins. There is technically a way to escape this sequence early, but for one, we need to beat Southern Ruins in this category anyways. But also, the way to escape is like very, very difficult. You basically have to do a setup for like 2 minutes, and then you have like, you have to do like a frame perfect trick, and if you miss the trick, you have to do the entire setup again. So, it's not very fun to do.
Sounds the most.
Right. I'm also going to be using my urchin that I just picked up, grabbing the keys right here. One thing you may notice is when I'm going up ladders or up these walls, I'm going to be like jumping the entire time, and that's just because that's like a lot faster than just climbing up the way you're supposed to. And yeah, a lot of the time in this game, instead of kind of like going around a tree or something, you'll just use like echoes to go over it instead. Alright. Picking up our first waypoint right here. One thing to note actually, so in almost every language of this game, when you get a waypoint, you have 2 text boxes at the waypoint. with the exception of German, which actually makes German the fastest version to run for this category. But I figured it'd be more fun for y'all to watch it in English, and it's only like a few seconds slower in English, like maybe 10 or 15 seconds. So
The frames.
unless you really wanted to learn some German today, I guess. I'm sorry if you did.
I want to say that's the case with Breath of the Wild too, that the German is faster.
Yeah, I don't actually know. I know some non-Japanese, non-English language is fastest, and I think that one has to do with like the voiced lines are shorter. Okay, there's the meat.
It's the meat.
Yep, thank you all for reading the cat costume incentive. I will need that meat to get the cat costume.
Maybe.
Alright, we're gonna grab that waypoint. That waypoint is very important. You will see in around probably 20 minutes why that specific one is super important. Alright, so right here, we're going to be opening the entrance to the Stilled World here. So basically how like each dungeon goes is that you kind of advance the story until you have access to the rift. Try will do little try magic or whatever to open the rift. We're going to go inside. We're going to enter a Stilled World where you have to do a little bit, and then we finally enter the dungeon proper.
Is Try like Navi?
Yeah, Try is kind of like Navi. Try is kind of like your companion and help you. Try is like a very like, the way Try is written is almost like very childish, I guess. Like Try doesn't understand that like, oh, Zelda can't just like phase through walls like they can.
Yeah, what?
There's like cutscenes where Try like phases through a wall and it's like, Zelda, follow me, and then Try's like, why aren't you following me? What? Try doesn't like understand much about the world, I guess. Also, remember when I shouted out that guy's wife during the cutscene? This is why. I'm gonna be able to do something called wife jump right here, where by using those beds and jumping on that guy's wife, I will be able to skip the cave where I have to do like a mandatory battle, and that saves like 40 seconds or something. So shout out to that guy's wife, very important.
Tail.
And now we are going to make it into Southern Ruins proper. So I actually really like the Southern Ruins section of this run. It's pretty simple, honestly, but there's a lot of like kind of neat little things about it. Fun fact, the very first time I played this game, I didn't realize that this is where you were supposed to get bind. And so I instead like built a bridge of beds to get around this rock. And then built another bridge to get back. And it was really hard. When I watched the speedrun, like the first time I found out.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'm like very scared of spiders. Like I don't like spiders at all. I don't like spiders so much that I'm gonna throw down 7 beds at this spider. There we go, perfect. Exactly what I do in real life.
I used to not mind spiders, and then a lot of games came out where spiders were enemies, and so I started hating spiders. But like, as long as I know they're not poisonous, then they're fine.
I'm a spider hater. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all my spider fans out there, but
you'd hate me then, because in high school there's a spider coming down from its like web. I took the web and just slowly walked around the room and scaring people.
Oh god.
Oh, you were that person. I see. I know.
And I'm like screaming, and I'm like, it's just a little spider, it's just a little guy.
It's a scary spider. He got like the old legs. It's like ah, you know.
It's not a Black Widow.
Anyways, back there, I got the Ignazol, or as the community likes to call it, Igna-Chad, because this echo is extremely good. You'll see in a fight coming up pretty shortly how important the Ignazol is. And there's this room, we're just gonna light those 2 torches. I placed the rock here in a pretty specific way so that I can just kind of drop down onto it, like that. So I'm pretty sure this room right here is supposed to like subtly teach you that in the next fight you can pull off the shield. And I did not understand that at all. And I feel like half the people who play this game do not understand that. But yeah, that's supposed to teach you that like when we get to the fight right here, where we have to fight... Oh my gosh, Link. Sorry, boy Zelda.
Oh,
Forgot my own name.
Link.
yeah, I did not get that you were supposed to take the shield off.
Yeah, we're just gonna use Ignition instead because Ignition is Chad. I'm also binding Ignition first and then like pushing it into Link. The reason I do that is because for some reason, like every so often, if you let the Ignition just jump at Link, then like, I think it has to do with the way the hitboxes work or whatever, and like, or like the hurt boxes. But sometimes Link will just like immediately turn around and like hit the Ignition instead of getting stunned. So you just bind it first.
Oh, Link.
And now we're gonna pick up the sword, and now we're gonna be gain access to Sword Fighter form. So basically, there's a mechanic in this game. If you press up on the control, the D-pad, you'll be able to kind of transform into Link temporarily. Now we don't get like all of Link's abilities we had at the start. We only get the sword right now. As you play through the game, you'll get like access to the bow, access to the bomb, which we'll definitely be doing in this run. But yeah, right now we just have the sword. And the bar in the top left is like how much energy I have. And once I run out of that, I cannot return into sword fighter form.
Was Link also left-handed?
Believe so. Link left-handed on a lot of games, so I assume he's also is in this game. Right. This room, Ignis is only going to put in some work, but also we're going to use bind. Pull off these. You'll also notice, like, right at the end when I'm pulling them, I'm actually going to jump at the end. If you, like, stay on the ground, you get this, like, animation where Zelda, like, falls over, and then you have to, like, very slowly get back up. But if you jump, that animation just doesn't happen, so you can move right away.
I already feel like I've been playing this game all wrong. Like, the way you're killing enemies and, like, navigating.
No, don't worry. When I was playing this game casually, my strategy for so long was just, like, summoning a bunch of rocks and just, like, very slowly killing every enemy with the rocks.
Yeah, I'm gonna look like a master when I play this game for the first time.
Exactly, you're gonna be an expert.
Yeah.
Right here, as long as I move through this room quickly, I can make it across without having to use bind. So this room, you're supposed to use reverse. Like the game teaches you how to reverse bind. Instead, we're gonna get very clever with some strandulas. Then use the bed right here, and then we gotta climb this ladder fairly quickly. The bed like that, and then we're just gonna go across. We don't have to use reverse bind at all in that room. This room, you're supposed to like guide the statue onto the thing, but you can just spawn a bed on top of it. The fact that you can spawn a bed right there was actually not discovered for like multiple weeks after this game came out. It took like a while to find that. Well, like some of the more major stuff in this game was found in like 2 days. That one was a little funny when we figured it out. Alright. And now we're on to the first boss here. I'm gonna do a strat. I'm gonna try to do a strat called Bedhead here. We'll see if I can get it. Okay. So for this second stage, I'm gonna jump on top of the bed, wait for it to break, and then I can hit the orb right away.
Nice.
That. And then I'm gonna try to stay in Sword Fighter form so I don't have the animation that's going out of it. See if I get good RNG. I got bad RNG. you need to wait for the boss to do like a slam attack, and it usually does it right away, but sometimes it will do that one. There we go. And there's Talus, and that's Southern Ruins.
GG.
Thank you. So after pretty much every dungeon in this run, there are some like decently long cutscenes. Usually what happens, and you'll see it in this one. This one's like one of the longer ones. Basically, Try's gonna be like, "Oh, I have some friends, and we're gonna fix everything now." And then you'll see like a whole cutscene of Try and Try's friends fixing everything. Try has so many friends. There are so many Tries. There's like at least 3 of them.
McDavid's
Look at all
is
those
the
little guys.
McDavid's a winner.
McDavid scored a goal in 1. All right. Thank you. Thank you for this information.
It was destined for the USA to lose because Austin Matthews can't win in TD Garden.
Those were fighting words.
Now 0-4 in winner take all games in TD Garden. Just a joke.
Don't remind me. Do not remind me of that. At least we should be happy that Canada won today.
Aren't we
Anyways,
all though?
yeah, after Try does all that, Try will like level up, and then Try will give you mic crystals, and then Try will go on another whole thing talking about like, oh, here's things that happened in the plot or whatever.
Yo, Try has triangle tails.
Yeah. So that actually like correlates to like the amount of like power you have. So like each echo in this game costs a certain number of triangles, and you only have so many triangles. So I just got the 4th triangle from Try leveling up right there. I'm gonna pick up the heart container. Optimally, you would skip like every heart container in this run, but there's gonna be a couple bosses that are actually like pretty difficult to do on like low HP. So I'm just gonna pick up everyone just for the marathon run. And there you go. That's our first dungeon of 8. I had to like count in my head how many there were.
8? So you're telling me this is gonna be a 4-hour run?
Yeah, sorry to say. We're all gonna be up till like 4 a.m. for this one. Alright. So right now we're gonna be talking to Minister Left. And right now we're supposed to be going to Blueberry's house, and Blueberry is going to be the character that is going to be able to upgrade like our sword fighter form energy and our sword power and all of that. Unfortunately, the cutscene getting there, like when you arrive there, is extremely slow, and I don't like it, so I'm just gonna not go there. So the game actually disables warping right now, but I'm gonna do a little trick right here. I'm gonna be playing the floor as lava for a while. So I'm just gonna do this. Gonna move these boxes in a super specific way. Gonna fall, and now I'm out of Blueberry's trigger. Out of left trigger. Sorry. So normally, if you like stand too far away from Minister Left, you'll be like, "No, don't go that way. Come back," or whatever. But what I did is that I kind of abused the way safe tiles work in this game. So basically, if you like start infinitely falling, the game has a measure that will say like, okay, if you're infinitely falling, you clearly cannot move. Let's put you back on the last safe tile you were on. And the last safe tile I was on was the spot I was at before I placed all those beds. And because I moved Minister Left far enough left, when I got back to my safe tile, I was so far away from the Minister that the trigger of her trying to bring me back into that sequence did not happen. Consequence of that is that I actually cannot warp right now at all. But I will be able to fix that fairly shortly. So right now I'm kind of just going around the world and picking up like some waypoints. Getting these specific waypoints that I do is going to be pretty important for a trick you will see a little bit later. First, we're gonna drown this spider. I really don't like spiders. One thing you might be noticing as well is that every time I pick up an echo, I'm actually opening kind of the like pause menu and then closing it immediately. Doing that is actually a little bit faster than just clearing the text box normally. And also, if you open the menu, you're going to be able to switch your echo fairly quickly. So sometimes I'll go into that menu, switch where my echo that's equipped, and then go back out.
Oh, it's the same rough, coarse, and irritating place.
Yeah. We're not going to be here for very long.
That's
We're
good.
going to climb up here. I'm going to move the camera kind of like this for a little bit, just because the like sand particle things generate a bit of lag. In that spot specifically.
The infinite fall, changing the camera to reduce lag. This is just a Scarlet Violet run.
True. This is just Pokemon Scarlet, and we have the journey around the world too.
That's true.
This game really is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
That's still better.
All right, I'm gonna give myself a little shout out right here, because this doesn't matter much at all, but I've found that doing the movement on the overworld like the way I'm doing right now saves like 5 seconds over the way we were doing it before, and that's like the only time save I found myself in this run. So I'm just hyping myself up there.
That's the most important 5 seconds that I've ever run.
That is not ideal. Let me do this actually. So I need to talk to that guy, but that guy's gonna get like scared by all the like echoes, like crow around. Wow, that is really bad. Get out of here!
Yeah.
Come on.
We don't like birds here.
Okay, there we go. Alright. Yeah, it's because he also gets scared by when you place an echo too close to him, and I accidentally placed one too close to him. Which caused him to get scared, which caused the bird to get too close. And then he just kept getting scared over and over. So, by starting the minigame and stopping the minigame, I now have the ability to warp again. And that is the only reason we did that. And I'm gonna use this spider right here to climb all the way up Eldon very quickly.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Seems illegal.
You can do some very creative things in this game. So yeah, just let it climb up and then reverse bind on it, and you can just climb up like pretty much any wall super quickly. We're going to be grabbing one more waypoint, and then we're going to be getting a very, very important echo.
Why can't we do this in Pokemon?
What, just like place a spider down and then like climb up with it?
Yeah, like the Gavantra or whatever they're called.
I don't know, you should try it at some point. Gonna get this.
Maybe in ZA.
Maybe hoping.
Hope it's actually good.
Alright, we're gonna get the third most important echo in this run right now. We're gonna be getting Lizalfos level 2. This is going to be our main damage dealer throughout the entire run, pretty much. Lizalfos level 2 has the same power when it attacks as level 2 sword. And by basically like spotting near the enemy you want and then like keep spawning the Lizalfos over and over again, it will like instantly attack every time it gets spawned. And so you can do damage extremely quickly with Lizalfos. Alright, and now we're actually going to get the most important echo of this run.
Oh, I'm excited.
I'm sensing a theme here.
X sign.
Yeah, the sign, I mean, it's such like funny thing. You like talk to the sign and it's just like a quirky little thing. It's so cool.
Pick up the messages?
No, but the messages, there are like a bunch of different messages it can like pull randomly. It's pretty great. I'll give you an example right here.
Okay.
Let me just get the sign out. Oh, I got the boring one. Unlucky. So anyways, this is normal.
Uh-huh.
You played the game like this, right, Gavin?
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember this part exactly.
Yeah, but like something similar, right? Like,
What?
Are we doing some like BDSP menu sandwiching?
you are so much. You are like you almost nailed it, pretty much. Honestly. So we're gonna be going back into the Southern Still world with this echo menu up while I can move.
Back in time.
Hey, I'm just gonna warp over to Farron, the Farron northwest entrance right there, and by Farron, I actually mean Hyrule Castle. So, you may have wondered what just happened. A lot just happened right there. And I will try my best to explain what just occurred. But basically, I did the one extremely major glitch of this game that defines this entire run called wrong warping. To do wrong warping, you first have to get menu storage. So basically, at the Eternal Forest, if you like, the game really wants you to enter the Eternal Forest from like its normal path, normal entrance. That is not the button I'm to press. But if you talk to if you enter that while you're talking to a sign, after you clear the text box, you have about a 2-frame window to input some sort of menu input, whether it's the map, whether it's the pause menu, whether it's the echo menu. And if you're able to do that, then you get menu storage. 1 second, we should do a little trick right here where I bind this and get across a little bit faster. So basically, menu storage allows you to do movement and other actions while you have some sort of menu up. And then I perform the wrong warp trick. So, first of all, let me just destroy these enemies very quickly with Lizalfos. It's very powerful. So basically, the way wrong warping works is a little bit complicated, but basically, there are 2 maps in this game. There's kind of the main overworld map, and then there's the map of all the skill worlds and dungeons. And basically, I tricked the game into using the index from the overworld map, and applying it to the dungeon map. So basically, all the waypoints I got when I kind of went around the map, those are the waypoints that correspond to indexes that of warps that I want in dungeons.
Oh yeah, again, it's the final boss of the game.
Final boss again already?
Oh yeah, the run's gonna be ending so soon.
But wait, you didn't do all the dungeons. You're breaking the category rules.
There's only 2 dungeons, there's Southern and this one. And that's it, right?
No, I mean, you could say that I can believe because I've never played the game, so.
Yeah,
as far as I'm aware, yes.
Thank you for approving. Alright. So this Ganon fight is actually kind of difficult to get right. As long as you do the same things Ganon with all the bosses in the game, as long as you take the same action, the boss will generally do the same thing. On 4 hearts though, this fight can be a little scary. Especially this attack right here. The timing of the sword on this is actually pretty tight to reflect the ball.
You made it look easy. I don't know if I believe you.
It is difficult, I can promise you. Gavin, please.
Yes, no. I think this is the only boss I died to, and I died 3 times because I could not get the fireball timing.
Yeah, it's really, really hard to get it just right. For this game, for some reason, you only have a couple frame window. Oh, let's do a second attack there. There we go. For this one, we're just gonna hit Ganon without doing the ball attack. Oh, I found a little delay. I didn't want Monogalpus to hit Ganon on that phase, but that's okay.
Damn, chunky boss.
Yeah. And there we go.
GG.
Oh my gosh, we beat the game for a second time. Oh my gosh.
GG's.
Wow, thank you. We're totally... This is totally the end of the run. I am totally, like, an hour and a bit underestimate. I did so well this run.
Back on schedule.
But yeah, we've got another fairly lengthy cutscene here with Try kind of repairing the Hyrule Rift now, and then after that we're actually going to get a pretty long cutscene in the castle itself. So, is there any anything you want to say, Grace, about what we're raising money for or anything like that? Now is a great time.
Of course. Chat, we have a new milestone that is open for Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater for tomorrow. It'll be all Carotans, European Extreme. So our goal, if it's met, Nick will upgrade his category from any percent to all Carotans, which means Nick will have to find all 64 little green frogs during his run. If he collects them all, he'll even get the stealth suit and be unseeable. And what I'm hearing, chat, is that means there can be more little guys. Can we get another dono train started for more little guys? Little guy hype, chat? And also, I have some donations to read for you. We have $5 from Greta Ice Vixen, who's our next runner, joining the $5 dono train to say hi, good luck, and also to say that my dogs, Candy, full name Candy Cane, Pixie, and Mimi say hi too.
Hi Greta, hi Candy, hi Pixie, hi Mimi, hi!
Hello. We also have $10 from Kaz with an update about the hockey game that says McDavid was left wide open in the slot and got the OT winner for Canada.
Yeah! Yeah! Thank you, guys. If you cannot tell, I am Canadian. Alright. So, warped back to Hyrule Castle now. There's gonna be a decent amount of cutscenes because here, like, kind of in the story, it's like, oh my gosh, Zelda's finally reunited with her father, and then he gets, like, to talk to Impa again, whatever, and this, like, you know, this, like, nice emotional little cutscene. Of course, we have not followed the story up to this point, like, at all, so a lot of this means, like, barely anything to us.
Yeah, so in this version, the Zora are still fighting with each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, I'm gonna be honest, I genuinely don't remember the Gerudo story. I think it's, like, about, like, the Gerudo, like, seal off where the rift is or something, and then one of the Gerudo is like, wait, well, we should unseal it so that Zelda can fix it, or something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, thanks. You think I remember, okay, I played this game casually, like, I don't know, like, 4 or 5 months ago, but, like, goldfish memory moment.
I don't remember either. Don't worry.
Like, I think that's stretching the definition of remember there, Joker.
Maybe I played it and just didn't remember that.
Maybe. Alright, here we are gonna pick up Zelda's bed. It is a safety item, kind of a safety echo. You wouldn't normally pick that up in, like, PvP attempts, but if I take a lot of damage, then I can use Zelda's bed to heal very quickly. The old bed only heals half a heart at a time every time you, like, lie down in it, while Zelda's bed heals 2 full hearts. So if I'm down to, like, 1 or 2 hearts and my max is, like, 8, I'm gonna be wanting to heal a lot quicker.
Does Link have a bed?
I'm sure Link has a bed somewhere. I mean, Link has to sleep somewhere, right? Do you think Link just, like, sleeps on the floor? I doubt it.
Well, I mean, you know, could sleep on, like, a cardboard box.
That sounds not optimal. I would not do that if I was Link. You
Yeah,
see all those
well-
like jumps and spins Link does? Link's back must like feel horrible if you're gonna sleep on like a cardboard box.
Yeah. Also, the menu storage was that so. Was that found like first couple days within the game's release?
Yeah, that was found very quickly in this game. Shout out to Gymnast 86. One of the most well-known Zelda runners, doing like a whole host of Zelda games. He found that on like day 3 of this game being out. And actually, it's actually a good thing to bring up because if you want to try this run for yourself, make sure you have any patch that is not the current patch for this game, because the current patch of this game patched menu storage. I'm actually currently playing on 1.0.1, which is actually a little bit slower than 1.0 by like a minute or two, but that's the version I have. So now it is time for me to get one more thing. I'll need an extra echo to go get the cat costume, and then Zelda can become a cat, and it will be wonderful and amazing. But I do
Yeah.
on the frog ring. I did not do that before. There we go. We're gonna go over here and get an echo called the Whole Mill. I need to get the Zelfos.
Ancestors' Cave of Rest. Better put some beds down for them.
Right, we got our little friend, and now we are going to walk over here.
Damn, no beds for the resting.
No, actually, the quest I'm about to like activate to get the cat costume actually does not activate until after you beat Hyrule Castle. So it's actually just like a very happy coincidence that you do Hyrule Castle like very early in this route, because a lot of routes don't.
Interesting.
Like the old route of this game didn't do it, and I believe like the newest 1.0 route also doesn't do it, but on this patch of the game, we have to do a completely different route. Oops, I said no. Let me say yes. There we go. Okay, we're gonna talk to that guy. We're gonna talk to this woman over here. You're gonna talk about like, hey, there's this. I need to get like my wallet or something, but the cat's sleeping there and I can't get it. So can you maybe like go over there, get the cat to move, and then dig it up for me? Thanks. So we're gonna go up here quickly.
That person's lazy.
Okay. So first of all, we're gonna get the cat to move by placing down the meat.
That meat's bigger than the cat.
Yeah, it's a lot of meat. That cat is very hungry. That meat is gone, and the
I like
bone
how you
is
can't
gone.
just. I like how you can't just pick up the cat and move it. You have to give it meat instead.
There we go. And then we use the whole mill to get it's like a stack. It's not a wallet. Anyways, after that, so I'm gonna be like, thank you so much. Cat clothes, cat clothes, cat clothes. Kitty.
Meow.
Meow. Oops. There we go. You can't hit up.
Yeah, there we go.
Yay! Thank you all for donating $100 for this. I actually really like using the cat costume in this.
Sometimes it's
This
something I can read the sign.
All right. So we're going to be doing another wrong warp. This time, instead of doing the menu storage kind of near the waypoint, I'm going to be doing it kind of on this side of Eternal Forest. Just because I'm already right there because I got the cat costume.
Sometimes a good lie down in bed is all you need to feel better.
I'm always saying this.
My friend is also always saying this.
I'm always saying you need a good lie down in bed. Like if you agree, chat.
My friend slept 18 hours the other day.
Okay. How did that happen?
No idea. Is this getting the waypoint time you're entering Farron? Or is it
So
not yet?
no, not yet. We are close. Thank you.
Nope.
We are going to work somewhere else first. We're going to use the Gerudo entrance waypoint. And now we are at the very start of Stelled Elden. Now, there are we're kind of warping to actually like the beginning of the dungeon here. And there are two main reasons for that. First of all, I'm going to actually exit the Stelled World right here and get this warp. This will allow us to basically do any future wrong works a lot faster than I've been doing them before. But also, later in the run, we're going to be warping to the very end of Elden. But the problem is when we warp to the very end, we're actually going to be trapped in a room, that you can only escape by having a small key. So the purpose of this visit is to get the one small key that you need to escape that. So we're going to be doing some movement through the Stelled World. We're going to be jumping on these. Bed. Oh, come on, climb up. There we go. I'm going to be using the keys right here, and we're just going to be flying all the way across.
This is what you did, Gavin, when you played?
I mean, ish. I had the Cloud Echo at this point. And
I love the Cloud Echo.
I used the Cloud Echo so much to just get anywhere I wanted.
That is actually exactly what I did in my casual playthrough too.
So casually, what are the best echoes?
Bed. The bed is
Or
so
your
good.
favorite? Oh, you still use bed like first time?
I use the Fire Chad, whatever it's called.
Yeah, the Ignisol.
Yeah,
My beloved.
use that a lot. Use the Bombfish a lot.
Oh, yep. That will see some pretty good use in this run as well. Okay. We got our key, and now we're gonna get out of here. All right, we're gonna be doing our next wrong warp here. You're placing down the sign.
What's the sign? Warning. That's all I saw.
And this time we're gonna go over to the Elden entrance waypoint right here. And we're gonna be able to do our wrong a lot faster.
Oh yeah, the Whiz Robes are also very good casually.
Oh, the Whiz Robes are very good for speedruns of categories that are longer than this, because they're a little too far out of the way for this one. Right here, very important. I'm gonna grab this waypoint right here. It is extremely bad if I forget that waypoint, so very important that I get it.
You got the waypoint, yes.
Yes, I got the waypoint. So, come on. So yeah, to leave this room, normally you're supposed to come in to this room from the right side, but we kind of came into it from the back. But we still have to do like kind of like a little puzzle, so we can go to the left here. So, for this dungeon, we're also kind of like what I'm going to do with Elden. I'm actually going to do this one in 2 parts also. Just because the way this dungeon works is that you actually have to do a fair bit of like things to get the boss key. Basically, the boss key is like held by this thing called Manhandla, and you have to actually fight it twice in 2 different locations to actually be able to get the boss key. And so on this first visit, I'm going to be doing the first fight, and then I will be warping back later to the second fight, and then actually fight the main boss of the dungeon. And there we go. We did the first manhandle of fight, so now I am just gonna get out of here. Alright. Any guesses of where we're going next?
Hyrule Castle.
Close. I already went there. And I will not actually need to go back to Hyrule Castle.
Mount Nehru.
Good guess. Good guess. Once I can actually get the menu storage, I will reveal where I'm going. It is a 2-frame
Warning.
window, so pretty difficult.
This sign is made out of wood, which is flammable. Did you know that?
No, I inferred it. You know, it looks like wood, so, you know, I just like kind of assume.
The text is
I am not
fading.
getting this trick at all. One sec, let me focus up really quick.
You could probably use this as a shield, but only once.
Oh, come on now.
Text is
There
fading.
we
Hard to
go.
make out.
Alright. Gonna work. Here, actually, one thing to note during the wrong warp is that I gotta make sure, like, when I do it, that the cursor is on, like, the warp option and not the cancel option. Like, if you over cancel and you try to do the trick, you'll just not warp anywhere at all, and it's very sad. Anyways, next place I'm going is Jabal. There are about a million ways you can skip the majority of this dungeon. We are going to be using the Crotula in this run. Just climb up here. If you haven't played this game before, normally you're supposed to go to, like, there's a bunch of rooms that you go to, and then you, like, hit a switch in each one of the rooms, and it, like, fills up with water in the middle a little bit, and then finally the water will be high enough that you can just, like, get all the way to the top. But you can use, like, so many echo to just get to the top instead. So the only thing, we're gonna go in this room right here to get 2 important things. Not that. First is the bomb fish. Blow that up right there. Also get the echo.
Yo, cat.
The bomb fish is actually going to be our only source of bombs throughout the run. So getting that is very, very important. And then we also are going to get the boss, which is right here.
Amiibos. Do amiibos do anything in this game?
They give you, like, extra costumes and stuff, I believe. But nothing like that would be particularly useful for the run. And we're just gonna crawl all the way back up here. You may notice at a couple points I'm, like, loading the autosave, and that just is, like, a little bit faster than going out of that room, like, swimming all the way out of that room. Alright. Vocavore, we are going to be trying to do a quick kill here. So basically, normally how Vocavore goes is that it swims to a part of the room, and then it does this, like, attack where it, like, summons a bunch of waterfalls, and they have to, like, pull these, like, weird little things coming out of its back or whatever. We're gonna be trying to skip, like, all of those waterfall phases. So, right here, it's gonna do, like, an attack where it kind of, like, spins in a circle, and we're gonna get to the corner right here, swim down quickly, attack all the things on its back, swim back to the corner, get down quickly, and that went extremely well.
Easy. GG.
So yeah, if you let Vocavore get away by accident, the fight becomes extremely slow when it starts spawning all of the like, waterfall, and then it's like really hard to damage Vocavore properly. Also, the position I put Vocavore in there is actually like fairly precise. If Vocavore is too far to the right, then you'll just get hit by a spinning attack, and it will basically instantly knock you out of the water. And if you put Vocavore too far to the left, instead of doing the spin attack, it will just swim away in the opposite direction. So I placed it in like a very specific spot so that it would do the spin attack, but I would be able to dodge it and instantly attack Vocavore. And that is Dabble. Yeah, so we saved the fish. I was gonna say the fish's name, and then I instantly forgot what the name of that fish was.
Yeesh.
Jabu Jabu.
Jabu Jabu, thank you. Luckily in this game, we do not have to go inside Jabu Jabu's belly.
No.
I love seeing these end cutscenes with the cat costume. I wish we could just get the cat costume in like normal PB attempt runs. I would be so happy about that.
Just find some route that requires it to do a trick.
I could run 100%. That's like 7 hours long.
That's not long at all.
Yeah, in that category, because you have to put on the cat clothes to do things, you wear the cat clothes for like a good majority of that run. So that run is pretty fun. Because of that.
It's like about the same as Galar Star, right?
Yeah, right around that. I think world record of that category of 100% in this game is like a 6:45.
Yeah, it's faster. You've done Galar Star, right?
Nope.
No. I thought you did. Dang.
Yeah, Galar Star Tournament, for those who are not aware, is basically kind of like the 100% story category of Pokemon Sword and Shield, where you do the story of like the main game, then the main post game, and then both the DLC stories. So anyway, right here, the whole story on Jabble is that there's like the River Zora and the Lake Zora, and they're like fighting, and now finally they're like, oh, now we've made up, and now we can play our music for Jabu Jabu or whatever. But we didn't go through like any of that other story, so if there are any host messages or any like to talk about what we're raising money for or anything like that, now would be a great time.
Perfect. Hello, Raiders, just joining us. Welcome to Lifeline for Linear. We are a mutual aid marathon raising money for fellow speedrunner LinearC, who recently became a single mother and has accrued a lot of unexpected debt as a result of the circumstances. We are live from 2:19 to 2:23 from approximately 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern Time each day, with incredibly fast speedruns that are sure to entertain and wow. For more information, you can type !LFL in the chat. And I also want to take this opportunity to remind you all about our bid war that we currently have open for the next run. It will be to decide which version of the game that Greta will be playing next, either Pokemon Sword or Pokemon Shield. If you would like to get your choice in, you can do !donate in the chat, and then while you're putting in your donation, make sure that you click that incentive and choose your option. And also, it will go towards the milestone for the Metal Gear Solid 3 run tomorrow. So make sure you get those donations in for that bid war. It will close before the run starts.
Thank you, Grace. No, which one's in the lead right now? Is it still Sword?
Yes, Pokemon Sword is in the lead right now at $45 with Shield at $15. So, chat, if you want to close that gap, now is your opportunity.
I would love to see that be a close bid war. Pokemon Shield doesn't get to be shown off as much, honestly, so I think it'd be really cool to get to see the Shield run this time around.
And you get to see Avery.
And you get to see Avery, yes.
Whoa, definitely pick Sword.
Oh, you're just a hater. Okay, I see how it is.
Ugh,
Alright.
I mean, yeah. Claw's not much better. That's your name, right? I don't even know her name.
Clara? Yeah, that's the sword rival.
She's also bad, but yeah.
Alright, so now we are going to head and finish out Farron. So we're going to be doing another wrong warp here. When I'm doing the wrong warp to the over here to Alden, so normally when you do wrong warp, you'll normally have like a mini map in the corner, so you can kind of see where you're going. But when I warp over to Alden, I actually don't have that mini map, so I basically do it completely blind based off of sound cues. Luckily, the like rift is like right there, so it's very easy to just like walk straight over and press A. Okay, that worked. Alright. So, for this fight, basically, largely the same, except for these kind of blue heads. You have to be able to damage them. You first have to, like, have them eat a bomb, and then they'll be able to be damaged. So, that's why I actually had to do Jabble first, so I had the bomb fifth, so I can actually defeat this fight right here. And now, we're going to get the boss key. And now, I'm going to warp over to the waypoint I got when I entered Farron the first time. So, if you don't get the waypoint, if you forget it for some reason, you either have to find your way back over here, which is decently slow, or wrong warp again to get back here. Alright. This is the Goma fight. This fight is a great showcase, typically, of the targeting system just being not very good in this game. It tends to love to target everything except the thing you actually wanted to target. So, for each phase, I have to hit kind of the 3 lights on Goma. After that, it will become vulnerable. And I can attack it. First 2 things aren't too bad. The third one can become very difficult. Because the targeting, like the way the keys fly to light up, not always great. Also, just had a targeting moment right there. Okay. Oh, I had it instantly. What? I just didn't think that was gonna happen. Wow, that like never happens. Okay. 1,
You're too good.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Wow, that actually went extremely well. A lot of the time, what happens in that fight is that you're like pressing ZL, the targeting button, like 10 times to try to target the right thing. And then once you target the right thing, the keys just like does not fly in the right direction at all, and you have to like spawn it like 5 times. But that actually went extremely quickly and extremely well. And yeah, Goma can actually be a pretty... You actually have to spawn the Legalfos to like hit the eye at the top fairly quickly. You need to get 15 hits in on Cycle 2 and Cycle 3, which is fairly tight. And if you don't get all the hits that you need to in, you'll basically have to do another cycle of Goma where you have to use the keys to hit the 3 lights again, and then it'll open up its eye, and it's really slow when that happens, so you really don't want that to happen. So now, I believe that is the 4th dungeon we've completed, if I am counting correctly. I hope I can count to 4.
Counting is hard.
Counting is hard.
Like, you know, you have to count to 50 and let's go. Tough stuff.
Very difficult.
Or 135, which is hard.
So for the dungeon that you're supposed to be doing after Hyrule Castle, you'll get a cutscene with one of the 3 goddesses. This one being Furore. So actually, one thing we're gonna be doing right here that you'll notice is that so normally after you beat all 3 of the post Hyrule dungeons, you're gonna get like a super long cutscene. But we're actually going to be able to skip that by reverting our quest progress in Faron. And you'll kind of see how that's gonna happen once I leave here. But first, we're gonna kind of get like a funny little cutscene here. So basically, because of the way we've glitched into Faron, the game is kind of in the state where the collision of the rift is there, but the rift, you can't physically see the rift there. And you're gonna kind of see what that results in when these Deku Scrubs try to run out of the room. Let's just say not all of them will make it.
Smoothies. I feel for a mango smoothie right now.
So those 4 run out. This guy.
He's trying. Oh,
Yeah. That one
What
just
happened?
deleted off the face of the earth. So yeah.
What happened?
So what actually happened is that because normally the hitbox of where the rift is there, because of the way we've advanced the story, that hitbox hasn't gone away. So the Deku Scrub there just gets stuck. And basically the game has a failsafe of like, okay, if the cutscene, if like the little animation is taking this long and it hasn't finished yet, okay, it's just like get rid of the actor and then continue on. Otherwise, very lucky the game does that, and otherwise the game would soft lock.
Yeah, I was gonna
And
say.
this route would not be possible.
Good thing. The whiskers.
I love them. They're so amazing. They're so cute. Alright, so now we're being introduced to Faron, because we've never been here before. Clearly this is our first time in Faron Wetlands. So we're gonna be getting the introduction cutscene, even though we just beat the entire dungeon. And now, because this is our first time in Faron, and we're standing in front of this place right here, Try's gonna be like, wow, there's a really big rift here. Look at how big that rift is.
So big.
Alright, the
bear
front
could be
door's
in there.
closed, so I'll go in and see if the rift is there. Oh, looks like the door's shut though. I'm not sure how you're gonna make it in. So yeah, because that cutscene triggers, the quest for Faron actually reverts back to this part of the quest. Which means that in like kind of the quest data for the game still thinks we are earlier in the Faron quest, even though we actually beat the dungeon, and that means that the cutscene that plays after you beat all 3 of the post-Hyrule dungeons will not play.
Interesting.
Alright, so we're going to be doing another wrong warp now, unsurprisingly.
Texas faded.
So, are there any Gerudo fans in the chat or in the call? If you're a Gerudo fan, oops, I did this weird. Oops. And I don't have the mini-map. There we go. Got it. If you like Gerudo and you think Gerudo's really cool, I'm sorry in advance.
oh.
Because, it'll be kind of quick, to say the least. Alright. So, normally in this dungeon, you're supposed to like only be able to access where I am right now after you like clear the sand.
Hey, what?
But the game still like kind of lets you do this even if the sand isn't clear, as long as you can like actually make it down here. So I'm just gonna be grabbing the boss key real quick while the sand is not cleared. There you go, got the boss key.
What a screen.
All right, and make it up. And now we are going to do the Morgriff fight. So Morgriff is like a kind of a two-phase fight. It's kind of like, it has a bunch of attacks. So it has this like one attack where it like shoots out like a bunch of like sand things and you have to block them, and we're done with the dungeon.
What?
Yeah. So yeah, that's Gerudo. We did that in about 1 minute.
Nice job.
What is that?
Thank you.
This is unrestricted, everybody.
Yes, so this is unrestricted. Very important that the definition of this category is that you just have to exit the warp at the end of the dungeon. Now you may be wondering why the warp was even there in the first place. And it is because there are some very like specific flags in this game. So for some reason, if you defeat Goma in a Farron Temple, the game will set the flag to just have the warp in Gerudo just to be there. So we purposely do Farron first so that we can just warp right away, right out when we go to Gerudo. There's also a flag that says that once you beat Morgriff, you can actually just access the warp in Southern, which is the very first dungeon we did. But because of the way the flags work up, you can't actually do both of those. So we just do the one for Gerudo.
What is this sign gonna say? You probably could use this as a shield, but just once. This away, that away.
Alright. I'm gonna make it back in and do another wrong warp. This time we are going to be heading over to LinearC, which is, I think, the longest dungeon in the run. Final dungeon might be longer, just because the final boss is pretty long. But this one is fairly long as well. So we're actually going to warp right to the boss door, but we don't have the boss key, and actually getting the boss key is a bit of a process. So, first thing we're gonna do is go over and grab the ice keys, because we're basically like, we need to have some sort of ice elemental to be able to do the boss of this dungeon. So we're just gonna, this is the quickest one to get. Just bind onto it, there we go. Oops. Do the Zelphos. Alright. And now, normally you're supposed to like use the like fire orb to heat up the room here and unfreeze this, but you can just bind the rock here, like even when it's frozen, and just put it on there. Shout out to a random YouTube comment, which is how we found out, the speedrunner community found out that you could do that.
Oh, the best way.
Okay, there's another room where you have to hit the two switches at the same time. And
I think we should start a dono game at the beginning of this run where it's like, every time a bet is placed, you donate $1.
there are a lot of beds.
Maybe start at like quarter per bed.
You know, depends on what's within your means, you know? Anyways, we're going to bring this orb over here.
Orb. Sorry.
Orb.
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 Orb. There's gonna be more orb placing, so if you like orbs, get excited for the next like minute.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. Alright. So we're basically gonna be just doing the puzzle so that we can actually get the boss key. Basically, the way like Oh, go ahead.
If only you get through those bars somehow. Feels
If
bad.
you could get through those bars, you would save so much time. Please find a way to get through those bars.
I'll just randomly find it when playing casually early
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
in like 2030.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're basically gonna unfreeze and freeze kind of this water here. So after that, we're gonna press a button in that room, and it will drop a snowball, and which will hit that bigger button that you see on the screen, which will then lower the bars. And after this, we get to do the most random boss in the run. This boss is very, very annoying, and it's kind of the main reason we get so many hearts, because it can very, very quickly do many hearts of damage to you. Basically, how it works on each phase, it has like a helmet that you have to destroy, and once you destroy the helmet, then you'll be able to actually damage. That, not what I wanted to happen, that's okay. Fire keys.
This thing looks like a robot.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, that spinning attack that it does, where it like kind of spins around the room, is very slow, and you kind of want to try to avoid it as much as possible. Anyways, now that its helmet is broken, it's gonna do the spinning attack again, of course.
So I take it it's slower to take the helmet off.
Oh, like once like the elemental part is broken?
Yeah, like you can kind of like use you can grab it and pull it off his head.
Yeah, we just use the shell first to just do as much damage as possible.
Okay.
Yeah, for this phase, we have to use some sort of ice elemental. Ideally for this fight, like Wizrogues are extremely good for this fight. Unfortunately, we don't really have access to that for the run. They are extremely out of the way to get. Please kill before this happens. Not. Oh, it is. Okay, great. Alright,
Yes.
and now for this third phase, it's actually going to keep switching between the ice and fire, and depending on how many times it switches, is how many times I'll have to switch my elemental. So hopefully it just never switches, which can just happen. Hopefully it can keep doing the slam attack over and over again, because that's like by far the best one that it can do. Wow. Wow, that was so easy. I promise you it can switch. Oh my gosh. You used the slam like 5 times in a row, except Mr. Glajalfish is not attacking for some reason. That was the best phase 3 I've ever had. That never happened before. That never happened before.
He said the words.
I said the thing. Alright, so after this dungeon, we're gonna kind of go through the normal, like, Pride gathers all their friends and restores the land or whatever, and then you get all the might crystals. And then the goddess is gonna come down. But because this is the second of the 3 post-Hyrule dungeons that I'm doing, at this point, the game is flagged to basically kind of give some more on the final boss and whatever. So in addition to the normal post-dungeon cutscenes, I'm actually gonna have an additional minute and a half of doing literally no inputs. So, Grace, if you have any messages that you would like to read, now would be a fantastic time. This is probably the best part of the run. You can do it.
I have some donations to read. We have $35 from Eminem that says, "Must see my wife," and that went towards Pokemon Shield.
Yep.
And we also have $10 from Yog KV with no comment, but it also went towards the Pokemon Shield bid war incentive, which does mean, chat, that Pokemon Shield is now in the lead for the game that Greta will play, the version of Pokemon Sword and Shield. And that does mean any Pokemon Sword enjoyers, if you want to get that back in your favor and see Sword played instead of Shield, this is a great opportunity for you to get those donations in. And I also want to remind you that all donations are going towards LinearC. We are raising money for her from Wednesday, February 18th through Sunday, February 23rd. We are very excited to be showcasing 5 days of action-packed speedruns for her benefit. For the full schedule, you can type !schedule in the chat, and if you want to donate, type !donate in the chat, and make sure to put your donations towards the incentive. I also would like to remind you that we do have a milestone incentive open for tomorrow. It is for the Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater run for all Carotans European Extreme, which will upgrade the category from any percent to all Carotans, which means Nick will find all 64 little green frogs during his run.
I mean, if you're watching this run where you collect a bunch of echoes and monsters and little friends, and if you like Pokemon where you collect a bunch of monsters and little friends, you're going to want to donate for that so Nick can get all 64 of those green little frogs.
We love little guys.
I so true. I am always saying this.
Chat, I would also love to hear in your donations what your favorite little guy is, whether it's from a video game, from some other form of media. Tell me about your favorite little guys. I want to hear about it.
All right, and now that we've gone through that entire lore dump, we're finally allowed to exit this dungeon. Just gonna grab a heart real quick here. Wow, I actually did Scorchel without taking a single heart of damage, which is very unusual. And now we get to see the best character in this game, Conde. Shout out to Conde. Not a little guy, but my favorite big guy. There he is. I wish we got to see more of Conde in this run. I love Conde so much.
Conde?
Look at him.
What?
Big and happy. Well, I'm not happy right now, but he's about to be happy. There's a whole story where, like, Conde thinks that his brother, like, abandoned him or something. Actually, it was just, like, a misunderstanding. And so we kind of explain that to Conde in this cutscene. And then Conde's, like, super happy because his brother didn't abandon him. And then also we cleared off the rift on the mountain. Look at him! Hooray!
I want to give Conde a hug.
Same. I want to give Conde so many hugs. Alright, so we're actually going to do the wrong warp from here, which is faster if I can do it on the first try, but it's actually fairly difficult to do. Let's see if I can get it. Alright. Alright, I'm going to use the mini-map here to get into Still the Nehru. And by basically just doing the wrong warp from here instead of the forest, I just saved like one warp. And now we're going to be warping into our second to last dungeon.
Penultimum. Yeah, you know what I mean. No.
Yeah, they're almost there. The penultimate. I got you. Alright, so we're going to be warping into the back of Eldon now. And First of all, we're gonna get the waypoint here. And we're gonna get a piece. And we're gonna basically be doing this room backwards. So we're gonna fly across like this. Honestly, when I played this game at first, I did not like kind of realize how the flying mechanics worked really. So I was doing these like wild like bed like bridges to get across that entire room, and it was very hard.
Yeah, it wasn't until there's some NPC or like note that explicitly tells you about flying with things, and it was like, oh, that makes a lot more sense given the last like hour of puzzles.
I am not gonna be able to. Yep, I cannot avoid that blue rupee. That was in such a bad spot. I lost a whole like 3 seconds. Oh my gosh. Fish here. We're gonna get this small key, and this small key will allow us to access the room where the box key is. Just down here. Put on a Strangula. If there's one thing that frustrates me a little bit about this game, is that you can only equip one echo at a time. It's not too bad in this run because we don't get that many echoes, but like in a casual playthrough when you have like 70 echoes, trying to scroll through to find the exact one you want every single time can be a little frustrating. Anyways, let me grab the... Oh, go ahead.
Is there a big difference between physical and digital?
Yes, actually. So, I mean, there's the standard one where for pretty much all Switch games, digital will load a little bit faster. However, the only way you can access 1.0 is through physical. And 1.0 is the fastest version for like a lot of categories. And not only that, when you are doing like the menu storage wrong works, the loads are actually a little bit faster on 1.0. So that is how 1.0 of 1. Like other patches kind of stack up. Anyways, here's Volvagia. So that was weird. Don't know why the goalpost spawned on the other platform there. This is basically, I want to call it like one step away from an auto-scroller pretty much. Basically, Volvagia is not random at all. It will go to the exact same locations every single time. And you basically just have to do like a few hits. Once you do those few hits, Volvagia will not be able to take any more damage until it goes for its next spot. And so basically, this fight basically goes the exact same way, like almost every time, unless you like mix it up. I'll go here, and then that'll kind of be the end of phase 1. Next spot we'll go to is over here, and there's gonna be like a little cutscene to start phase 2.
What's your favorite boss, casually?
Casually?
Yeah.
That did not go the way I wanted. Let me think about it. It might actually be the boss we skipped, Morgriff. That one's pretty fun casually. I'm not sure, honestly. Volvagia's like pretty fun casually, actually, when you like don't know that it's like basically that. That's okay. Let me just grab these parts right here. Honestly, though, the boss to me in this game are kind of like whatever. I kind of like the puzzle part like way more and finding like creative ways to use different echoes. Why? Oh, I was not targeted. That explains a lot. Oh, but I still... Okay, that's fine. And after I hit with Zelda 5 times here, 1, 2, 4, get out of the way, 5. Volvagia is finished.
GG.
So that is 7 dungeons done out of the 8, and we just have the final dungeon left of the run.
No surprise dungeon?
There is no surprise dungeon, unfortunately. There's no secret dungeon that you can only get to through wrong warping. The final dungeon is pretty fun though, because of wrong warping into it, there are a lot of interesting things that happen that you will see throughout the final dungeon. But first, we gotta watch Try and all their friends fix the mountain, and then also Din will speak to us here as well. So this is probably the last point in the run. If you have any messages for us, Grace.
Yes, of course. So, for the milestone incentive that is open for tomorrow, the goal for that is set at $1,500, and we are currently at $1,147 out of that goal. Chat, I believe that we could try and get to 1,200 by the end of this run. I believe in you. Tell me about your favorite little guys. Tell me about your favorite Zelda boss, whether it's from this game or a different Zelda game. I'd love to hear all about it. And also, Pokemon Shield is still in the lead for the bid war for the next run. So if you want to see Sword instead of Shield, now is a great opportunity. It does close at the beginning of that run before Greta starts her run, so we will be approaching that deadline pretty soon.
We only got one more dungeon left in this run, and then it will be over, and then right after that, we'll be starting up the Sword and Shield run. So if you like Pokemon Sword, get your donations in. If you want Pokemon Shield to have an even bigger lead, get your donations in. You only got maybe another 15 minutes to the end of this run. Probably even less, honestly. So time is running out.
I'm seeing that Pokemon Sword has a pink hair girl, and I myself am a purple hair girl. So if we want to see another colored hair girly, Sword might be the way to go, chat.
So we're just gonna have a few more dialogue boxes here, and then we're gonna be doing our last wrong warp. Kind of like the one we did after getting the cat costume. It's gonna be faster to kind of just spin over here and do the wrong warp from the left side of the forest. So we're gonna set that up really quickly.
It's very nice that there's no fall damage in this game.
Oh yeah. If there was fall damage in this game, I would have died there. I am not in the right position. That is not good. Let me try that again. Okay, this is kind of awkward. Oh, I was up there. How did that happen? Alright, this is fine. Yep, so I use audio cues to kind of make sure I can make it to where I want to go. Except my stick was a little bit angled when I meant to go straight right. So we will just try that again very quickly. There we go. Alright, and doing our final wrong warp now. And this will wrong warp us straight into Null's body. Now, If you have played this game casually. Well, first of all, Noah's Body is the final dungeon of this game, if you have not played it casually.
Huh?
Yeah, basically, the villain of this game is like Null, which is like wants to consume everything, or whatever. Normally when you enter this dungeon, your sword fighter form is like taken away, and you will not be able to transform into it, and that has not happened, so I will actually have access to my sword fighter form. First of all, I'm actually gonna watch this as well. So because of that, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I will abuse that and basically just kind of get rid of these blobs that normally spawn into enemies with my sword fighter form. That last one right there spawned into a Lionel, which is extremely scary and takes a lot of time to defeat, so it's very nice to be able to do that. Also, as a consequence of this, normally in this room right here, Link would show up and it would block your path to the left. And normally here as well, Link would be on the left side of the room. So I'm actually gonna have to do a trick here called softlock skip. And I'm gonna actually focus first and then I can explain it. Perfect, I got super quick.
Okay. I can explain it for you. This trick, you just skip a soft lock that would happen if you didn't do this trick.
Exactly, exactly. So because Link doesn't spawn in that room, if you were to hit that switch normally, the game would try to find Link and then infinitely do soft lock. That was not very quick. So basically by doing a frame perfect pause exactly when the urchin hits the switch, I can basically save the game and then reload it, and then the door will be open and I can get through. Also, because the part of the game that blocks off this left path never happens because you're wrong warping into here, I can just go around, go right here, and I've basically skipped an entire like section where you're in like a 2D room and you have to use a bunch of echoes to get through.
This dungeon looks disgusting.
Oh yeah, it's the inside of like a like monster's body.
Yeah. It's all like gooey and
And we are getting very close to the final boss. Normally Link would be here and you'd be like looking at Link running forward, but instead we just kind of awkwardly stand there for like 10 seconds. There's Link.
It's Link. Why isn't Link in a cat costume?
I wish I could put Link in a cat costume. That would be the greatest thing ever if I could do that. I'm actually gonna very quickly just use Zelda's bed just in case. I really shouldn't need this, but I'll just heal up some hearts. Right. And it is time for the final boss.
Let's go.
Alright, so the final boss kind of has like 3 main phases. So in phase 1 here, basically it kind of has like 5 sub-phases in phase 1. In the first, 3rd, and 5th one, we're basically going to be pulling the arms like this off of Noah's body, and then waiting for Link to use a spin attack. Then after all the arms are off, we're going to attack Noah's main body. For sub-phases 2 and 4, there's going to be arms coming out of the wall right here that we just pull out. Link's attacks.
How good is Link AI?
Oh, Link AI is incredible and is never does anything bad.
Okay.
Sarcastic. Link AI is horrible and will never do the right thing.
Okay.
And that makes the final boss fairly random in a lot of ways. Because you have to rely on Link actually like attacking when you want him to, and sometimes Link will just like stand there for like a good while and just not attack. And then also another thing that can happen is that like you pull the arms. So basically we pull the arms until this little like kind of turns white in the middle there. Sometimes you'll pull the arms like nice and high, and like the white thing will just like not show up. which is a very fun thing that can happen. You're almost at the end of phase 1.
How's this link so far?
Oh, it's pretty standard. Not great, but not horrible. Alright. Phase 2. This is basically the Vocavore phase. So, in phase 3, it will, like, spawn a bunch of bosses that you have to, like, dodge their attacks for a little bit. But I guess they wanted an entire, like, Vocavore to be included in that, so they made an entire water section just for Vocavore. This phase is very funny. Basically, Null has, like, a whole ton of HP at this phase at the start, but Null will very rapidly continue to lose HP until at some point near the end, Null will be all the way down at 1 HP. So basically, we just kind of swim to the end until Null gets to that point, and then attack Null once. And then the phase is over. So it's kind of a glorified auto-scroller. You just have to make sure you don't get, like, hit by the like, whirlpools or any of the enemies, and make sure you, like, refill your air. So
Those bubbles that refill the air?
Yes, those are the bubbles. Right about here. No, look at 1 HP. I can attack it once. And we're done. Phase 3 is very similar to phase 1, except a lot more complicated. You're gonna see it kind of has like 3 arms that have tries in them. Those arms can be used to spawn bosses. So you can see that this is the first boss I fought in the run. Basically, once I get rid of those arms, it cannot spawn more boss phases. So my goal is to get rid of those ones as fast as possible. On the sub-phases, it will still have arms coming out of the wall, but now these arms will actually spawn enemies, which can be extremely difficult to deal with if too many of them pile up. And also, this thing comes out of the ground. If that thing catches you, you're losing like a million years, because it takes a lot of Link hits to actually free you from the hand, and Link often does not like to actually free you because he's too busy like dealing with other enemies. Oh, that is not ideal from Link. Hopefully we can get this arm, please. That was good. If Link didn't get to that last arm I pulled before, like, quick enough, another boss stage will spawn. I need to be on the Zelda, not on that. Jeez. Alright, so for this phase, this is, like, by far the hardest, like, sub-phase. The run. Basically, it will spawn, like, a bunch of Lizalfos from the arms. Luckily, the Lizalfos will just, like, kind of, like, target the Strangula, and the Strangula will just, like, never die from them. So basically, please target the right thing. Oh my gosh. I had a targeting system moment. And now, without the Strangulas are not in the right spot. This is extremely bad. Alright.
Come on, Link.
Come on, Link. No, why would you... Okay, there we go. Please. Please get this one over here. That'd be really good. No, I got the thing where you pull it and it still doesn't turn white. Okay. Hopefully I can get the last 2 kind of here. Oh, that's good. Give me some more time. Link, please. No, I'm getting the glitch again! No, dude. Wow, that was really bad. Okay, we're gonna get an extra block. That's fine. Oh, and we did that immediately. Wow. No way. Am I gonna get a 3rd time? Are you kidding me? Wow, that's really bad. And now I've gotten the worst boss phase. Alright. This one's extremely slow and extremely annoying to look. I wish like one arm away from having a good. They just kept getting the thing where the arms wouldn't pull properly. That's okay. You've got it now. Alright. And time is actually going to be coming up very soon. It's going to show the prime energy right here. And once it pops out of null in about 10 to 15 seconds, that's when time is going to be. So,
Okay, mache.
we've got a mache right here. And time.
Time.
GG.
GG's.
Thank you. I'll try to be quick since I know we're a little bit behind right now. If you enjoyed watching this run and you want to try it out for yourself, you can join the Echoes of Wisdom speedrunning Discord at speedrun.com/EOW. You can find the link right there. Great small little community. We actually do races. We're trying to do races pretty often, so if you want to learn a category and join one of those, that would be great. Yeah, any shoutouts from you two that you want to give?
Shoutouts to Amber.
Yeah, same. Shout out to Sam for putting on a great run.
Yep.
Thank you.
Check them out.
Amber, where can the people find you?
Where can people find me? That's a great question. You can, well, my Twitch is twitch.tv/new_Amber. I don't stream very often there, honestly. But you can also find me at, in Canada, true. You can find me on Blue Sky at newamber.bsky/social. Yeah. That's all I have to plug for myself. Thank you very much. And thank you for watching.
Thank you, Amber, for that absolutely incredible run of Echoes of Wisdom. Finishing underestimate at 153.53. So huge GG's on that.
Thank you.
And chat, don't go anywhere. We have one more run this evening. So stick around. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Lifeline for Linear, which is a mutual aid marathon raising money for fellow speedrunner LinearC, who recently became a single linear directly. You can donate using !donate in the chat. And right now, we are about to be getting ready for our next run. Greta is going to be doing some Pokemon Sword and Shield, and there is an incentive open, a bid war, actually, to choose which version of the game to play. Right now, Pokemon Shield is in the lead, so if you're wanting to see Pokemon Sword, now is your last opportunity to get those donations in, !donate in the chat.